Thank you. Oui. All right. Je commence maintenant. So as we know, we are in not the best of all times in our surrounding environments. However, with the best of our abilities, we want to keep a sense of normalcy, a sense of fun, a sense of camaraderie. And that was our sole goal towards bringing the contests out and wanting to continue with them. So I have a couple of very large thank yous that I want to give. So one, I want to thank Michel Saint-Germain. He's been huge and instrumental in this. He wrote the email that all the members received regarding the contest. Craig did a whole bunch of brainstorming with me on some Saturday mornings and some Friday evening and to help bring this together, and as well to Kimberly and Ron, who've been supporting this all the way through. A very large thank you to everybody for helping this. There's also, I want to thank the division directors who have pulled together a lot of information and supplied it very quickly, and they will have very quick directives in the next little few days to keep everybody on board and moving along with this. So now we talk about the contest in general. And as you know, in that email, we sent out the contest directives that were given to us by TI. And we followed a couple principles that we wanted to make sure stayed true. So just to let everybody know how we arrived to the conclusion, comment nous arrivons à la conclusion pour la méthodologie les discours de concours. We came to the conclusion for, premièrement, une façon très moins tech. Very low tech. We wanted everybody to be comfortable with this. We wanted everybody to feel free to participate as they normally would. The second one was, again, wanting it to be accessible to all, de tous les concurrents, tous les officiels, tous les membres, to participate comme the same as in person. And third, we wanted the experience pour tous les officiels de reste le même aussi. We wanted all the official roles to remain as true to the roles as they stand within a contest as we could possibly maintain. And I'll get into how we did that. The fourth one was we tried to get into what I say the nook and crannies of Zoom to figure out how we could make this possible. And when you really started talking about it, it sort of brought out one layer after another about participants and table topics, because we have to sequester them, and how do we sequester them, and can we make this happen? So we believe we have a great way of doing this. Now, having said all of that, I want to very kindly ask for everybody to express a lot of patience for tonight, express a lot of just excitement to learn. We are all learning together. I do have my trusty pen and paper so that I can take notes for anything that I have totally messed up in a process that we discover after the fact. So rest assured that we want to make sure par vendredi, le concours de discours pour division A est mieux, or le meilleur, et aussi that tous les concours après ça continuellement de enlever, to augmenter. That's not the right word. We want to make sure that all the contests continue, but we know that Division H is going on Friday, so we did this as quickly as possible. So I hope that everybody can stay with me. We are going to continue to talk about the contest in general right now, and then we will go into what I will refer to as a mock contest. And the mock contest is very mock. We're going to move people in and out of rooms. We're going to show you how that will happen. And we'll continue on this process. And then with time permitting at the end, we will have a question and answer period that I will answer as many questions as possible to make sure ultimately that you as officials, you as members, and most importantly, that the contestants, les concurrents sont très confortables avec la procédure. Because ultimately that is our goal, is to continue to serve you guys in the best way possible. I will answer what I think will probably be a question right away is the district running their contests? We I believe the answer is yes. We will continue to do it virtually. And TI has not given any directive on whether the world champions will continue. So we have no information on that, but we want to be sure that we can put forth a contestant, a deserving contestant towards that competition, towards the opportunity to have the world champion of public speaking title. So that's ultimately how we arrived to the conclusion that we're moving forward with the contest. Okay.
We have
I'm going to address a couple concerns. Sorry. Yes, Danielle.
I think we have a question right now.
Yep.
Brahad Chilecom.
I'm missing it. Do you know what it is?
Ibrahim.
He has his hand raised.
Oh, sorry. I can't see it. Who is it? Ibra. Oh, sorry, Ibra. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Ami. Thank you for the district of this very amazing leadership. I'm very proud of you, to all the team. And my question is, I received a message from our some candidates in our division. They can't join a meeting. I want to know if it's just for 100 person or.
I am willing to bet that I'm capped out at 100 people right now. So rest assured, this is being recorded and we will have sessions tomorrow night. I will be available and I'll be available on vendredi. Je suis disponible demain et aussi, demain? Oui, demain et aussi la journée prochaine.
Ouais, mais this meeting is for candidate and officier how contest will take place, but they can't join it.
Yes, je comprends. Je suis désolée. Je suis vraiment désolée parce que je comprends. They won't be able to join it because I'm capped at 100 people. C'est 100% maximum maintenant. Mais we are recording this and we'll share it as well as tomorrow and Thursday night. So Wednesday night and Thursday night, I will make myself available for anybody who has more questions.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right.
So tell them my deepest apologies. Just to answer that, for when the division contest happens, it's a great privilege we have that because geography right now is no longer an option, we are increasing the number of participants that we can have on here so that if the very large number of the district want to watch it, they are welcome. So yes, that will come unfortunately after today that we will be increasing the number. Okay. So if we keep going into the contest, there was several things that we had to look at. One was if we how to deal with a failure. So I'm actually going to address it right away, and I'm going to go to what TI says. If technology fails during the contest, the chief judge determines that the contest can no longer continue due to a lack of contestants or contest officials, the contest will reconvene at a later date or time, which I interpret to be the contest will be rerun for all contestants to move forward. The second one is if only one contestant is impacted, the chief judge should pause the contest until the technology issue is resolved. The contestant should resume their speech at the point of which technology failed and will be allowed a 30-second extra overtime before being disqualified. So with that being said, if for some reason somebody's video drops or there's basically if the video drops for a speaker, they will be allowed to reconvene from the point they left off and they will be given the 30-second time grace. I know the next question, or I would assume the next question out of me would be, well, what happens if the video fails? How do you know that the contestant's trying to get back in? And that's why I sent out the Slack invitation. So you have all been added to a channel over the last, I would say 2 hours, thanks to Michel. He's added everybody in there. That is your communication to all of your officials. If you're a concurrent or a contestant avec votre chef de concours, and you will be with your contest chair in that channel, you communicate through there. If you have a problem, you say right away that you've got a problem with your technology, and we'll make sure that that we're all speaking to each other to see it happen. not to see the technology fail happen, but to see the fix of the problem happen. In addition to that, it's also a way for an official, if a judge's video drops or if something happens within there, that we can make sure that that is rectified as well. If for some reason the technology drops for everybody, that will go into the first one and the contest will reconvene at a later date and time, and messaging will be sent out to all officials and contestants. Members who are spectating will just be given a link as we've done for all members, and they can show up if they have the opportunity. But very specific communication will go to contestants and to contest officials. So I hope I've addressed that. One of the most exciting things, c'est un point très, très excitant à propos des concours, est the breakout rooms. And we had to come up with a way that when somebody logged in, they didn't immediately show up in the contest and disrupt a speaker immediately. We also needed multiple rooms because we needed to put table topics into a room. Often there are people who want to be sequestered for the international speech that they would prefer not to be seeing the other participants. And the first idea behind that one was, well, they could just mute their sound. A lot of participants, a lot of contestants don't even want to see another contestant do theirs. So we're actually providing the opportunity, as we would in a real contest, to sequester a contestant out for international speech contest. So with all of these breakout rooms, we've put in preventative measures to make sure that nobody just arrives in a room without being given permission to do so. So that's going to quickly touch on how we kept the rules as true as possible to the rules. And again, this will all go into detail. I'm speaking very high level right now, but we will go into detail as we go on in the night. And hopefully this will all make more sense and we'll connect the dots. And I had a thought and it just left me. Sorry, I apologize. The breakout rooms. So how we made all of this happen is we've added in effectively 3 new roles. Premièrement, il y a un host, the Zoom host. And on all the documentation, it does say the Zoom host. There's also going to be 2 co-hosts, and they will be the assistants to the host to move people around. They have the permissions to move individuals from one room to another room. When I spoke about if you're in a room, so let's use table topics, for example, you're in a breakout room. By Zoom, you in a breakout room have the right to leave the room whenever you like. So this way, if you're in a breakout room, ensuring that the contest is not happening upon entry, when you leave the room, you don't enter contest. You enter a random zone and you don't get to enter the contest until the host has allowed you that privilege. So that's just sort of letting you know some of the safeguards that we've put in and explored throughout all of this to make sure that again, we're running a contest to TI standards that's respecting all of the contestants throughout and giving everybody a fair opportunity towards this. The audio and the video, I know for some individuals, I'll say a challenge to overcome. There are certain contest rules that don't require it. And we'll go into that as well. Obviously, if you are a contestant, you will require a method to be seen and be heard. It was interesting, I was at a club meeting this afternoon and we were talking about some of the microphones. I strongly recommend to the contestants, go to a couple different clubs and try a couple different methods. One of the ones today had a microphone coming right into the mouth, and it was causing a lot of sharp noises on the ears with certain syllables and certain sounds when the tongue comes to the teeth. So you just want to make sure that that's the optimum as well for you to have a great opportunity and a great experience. It also helps officials who have earphones in because sometimes those can be quite loud. So we want to just sort of look out for everybody's ears throughout the process as well, because it's a lot of screen time that we're taking on here in the next little while. So that's that. Because we have added in these 3 new rules as host, co-host, and co-host, it actually left a lot of the rules true to be. So the contest chair runs the contest as normal. The individual moving the contestants around and sequestering will be the host and the co-host to make sure that that takes care of all of that. including moving the chief judge into another room, moving the ballot counters in, bringing all the judges into that room so that they can show their ballots, et cetera, et cetera. So now that I've said all of that, I'm thinking that I'm going to show you the draft document I have done up. Are there any questions right now? Have I scared everybody?
I have one question.
I just heard that we need to have the video, let's say to try to have a video a way that let's say my camera is fixed to my screen.
Yeah.
And I was told to organize myself to be able to move around as a table topic will do.
So
the thing is, I don't have this equipment.
Yep.
And what I have is what you see right now. And
yep.
Of course, I'm not going to go out and buy new equipment to get into this contest. It doesn't make sense.
I understand. Yep. So what TI recommends, and I will actually read it, the designated speaking area for contestants. The contest chair will review this for you in the briefing. They must be set to ensure that each contestant's gestures and facial expressions will be captured by their camera, and their voice will clearly be captured by their microphone. If necessary, the contest chair will advise contestants on additional lighting needs. So basically, everybody was telling me I was in the dark before, so we moved my light around.
No, it's just one thing that I do not agree with. You know, we're trying to all get into the Zoom link. That I find is beautiful. But the thing is, when you put a camera and you lose the voice, you lose many aspects. You don't have a voice projection, and the sound is reduced. So the way we are right now, I know that for example, me, I know that what I have as setup now is the best setup that I can have. So, and not only that, how will I be able to...
Let me address that. Let me address that.
Sorry.
So because TI is saying this, if you look in the photo that's on the recommendations, you'll want to just back the camera up. It allows you more freedom. I strongly recommend you stand, because standing gives you that passion, that encourage. Yeah, so you'll want to test that out, and that's what I'm saying. Test to a couple of different clubs and try it out and see what works with all of that. With a fixed camera, you do the best you can, and you do the best that everybody can do, because a lot of us are on fixed camera. So I recommend just try it out at a couple of clubs, ask to speak, and go from there. Experiment before your contest, okay? There was one other question, but I didn't catch who it was. Yes.
Hi, it's Gregory here. I understand you said that if there's a technology dropout, that the speaker has 30 seconds or so additional time to make up for that time lost. I mean, that makes perfect sense, I think, for prepared speech. For table topics, I don't think it's a good idea at all, because it gives the person too much time potentially to rethink or come up with a different point that they wouldn't have had without the technology interruptions. I don't think it can. I think it's an unfair. I don't think it can work with table topics.
So I'm going to give my immediate response, and then I'm going to admit to you that I'm going to go back and find out a real answer to that.
Okay.
So my immediate response would be, I'm willing to bet that if your call drops in the middle of a table topic, you're so panicked to get back into that contest, you're not thinking about the subject, because you will be expected to come back on right away. But we will find out a real genuine answer. Here we go. Sorry, I'm looking for my pen here. So I'm going to write that one down. Table topics drops, and we'll send out a response to that, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Perfect. So what
can I make a comment? It's Giman here.
Yeah.
I was just able to get in about maybe 3 minutes ago, because I tried at 8:30, and I was told that there were like more than 100 participants, and I kept trying and trying. Just now I was able to get in, so I basically missed the first 20 minutes.
Rest assured that this is being recorded and it will be shared. There's also going to be time tomorrow and time Thursday that I will make myself available on Zoom again. Okay?
Oh, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now, do we have one more question? I'm going to take one more and then we're going to keep on going.
So can you hear me? This is Coco from Division G.
Yeah.
I heard that the briefing would be just right before the contest time. Is that right?
That is true.
So,
Well, once we go into all of that, I'll explain the process and the procedures and how that will all happen. So you'll actually get to see how we've done it logically.
and also, how about to draw the speaking order?
Yep, we'll go through that too. Okay. Ibram, can you hold on, or is this...
Kimberly, may I say something? Sylvain Degg speaking. May I just ask anybody to wait at the end for the question, because we will not have the possibility to follow what Amy is supposed to give to us at first. And at the end, we will have all the questions not already answered that will be available. Je répète en français, attendez pour poser vos questions à la toute fin pour permettre à Amy de nous donner son programme dans le meilleur temps et on posera les questions à la fin s'il en reste. Merci.
Oh, merci, Sylvain. J'apprécie. So at this point in time, I'm going to move everybody into the procedures. And I'm going to have to admit something right now. There's a couple sections that are still working on the wording. The procedure will not change, but the wording is not the best. So you will get a copy of this tomorrow. Right now it is in draft mode, and I'm going to upload it here so that you guys have access. Right here. So I've uploaded it into the chat file. And I will draw your attention to the very large, I'll actually share my screen as well. I've lost my, perfect. So I'm sharing my screen so that you can see it here as we move through it. I will draw your attention to the very large draft. So please bear with me as we move through this. We're gonna start with the assumptions that we are going to adhere to all contest rules as published by Toastmasters International in the current speech contest rulebook. So if for some reason this ever has to be done in another year, it does not refer to the 2019-2020, it refers to the contest speech. Adhere to all guidelines as published by Toastmasters International in the Bulletin Online Speech Contest Exception. So that was mailed to everybody. Again, it will go out in packages from your chief judge and from your contest chairs. We will make sure that everybody is armed with that information. Prior to the contest, all contestants and contest officials have tested their respective video and audio equipment to ensure functionality as required. So this is a requirement that you have done this beforehand. As I've mentioned, go to a couple of different clubs, try it out, see what works, experiment. With all these online meetings, I am sure that there is a club somewhere in our district that would be happy to have you. And we're going to go into the standard processes. So there was a few processes that were quite repetitive as I was writing this up. So you'll see highlights. Those highlights are for me because I need to correct them. So bear with me. They don't mean anything to you. But there's going to be some in and outs. And as we go through the rules, I'm actually going to come back to these processes because they involve multiple rules to make the facilitation happen. So once we go past all of that, we have the Zoom host. Again, that was the one that took last because there is a team that has already agreed to be the Zoom host. So that will be Michelle, Ron, and myself that will be guiding all of you guys in and out of these rooms. So the contest chair, we're going to begin with that, and we're going to say the technical requirements. You need a video and audio capabilities on your computer. You'll need to engage with all contest officials, with contestants, as well as not necessarily engage with the members, but be seen by the members. Before the contest, so every one of these roles is set up by technical requirements before the contest, during the contest, and after the contest. So we wanted to make sure that everybody was comfortable throughout. I tried to make it as detailed as possible without being, pardon me, obnoxious. So I apologize if some of the steps seem basic to you, but we wanted to make sure that everybody was comfortable. So for the contest chair, You want to make sure that your contestants have all of the information they need. Did they get the Zoom link to join the contest that date? We have already sent that out to everybody. It is one Zoom link for all the contests. It's quite awesome that you can join at any time that a contest is going on and you will be right there. The speaker's information. So the contest chair still adheres to the TI guidelines that the contest chair will send out the speaker's eligibility and originality form. And they also send out the speaker's profile, and the contest chair is responsible for gaining that information back. So again, trying to stay true to the role as possible. Pour mes amis en français, je suis vraiment désolée. Est-ce que c'est un grand problème avec l'anglais? Si oui, Daniel, can you let me know? And I'll get Ron to speak up more.
Amy, if I may comment, if we receive that documentation, we will have the time to read, and if we have any problem, we will come you back. And pour ceux qui ont de la misère à lire en français, ne vous inquiétez pas, on va avoir la possibilité de réagir à ça. Si vous avez des difficultés, vous pourrez demander à des gens qui sont bilingues de vous aider. Et de toute façon, Amy sera là avec Ron aussi pour répondre. Merci.
We will get this translated for everybody. Again, it's been a wild couple of days to turn everything around and try it happen. So again, very much appreciate all kinds of patience that you guys have for us to make sure that we do this right for you. I am going to go through the roles though, very specifically line by line. You will get a copy of this to read and absorb and take away. But we will go through it, and then like I said, we'll get into the moving people around. So what is specific to the contest being online by the contest chair is that you're going to enter Zoom with your video off. They will come on, but there are certain people that have to have their video off. So we recommend everybody come into Zoom with their videos off at that time. Sorry, I apologize. Contest chair, if I have contest chairs in the room right now, I'm going to ask for a very large favor that you'll all be thrilled that Ron is going to stop the binging on my phone.
I am contest chair in English, and Ramil Julien is here as président concours en français for Friday at 2.
So what you're going to do to help your Zoom host out, you're going to hover over your square in Zoom and you'll see the 3 dots, the ellipses. Click on there and there is an option to rename.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
You are going to rename yourself bracket contest chair bracket Sylvain Dag.
At the beginning, okay.
Yeah, so that's how you're going to rename it. You'll see this pattern follow through for everybody who will be renaming, with the exception of the judges. For any judges, I don't want you to do anything right now. I will explain that one in a couple of minutes.
Like this?
Contest chair, you need to write it out for us.
Oh, all words?
Yep.
Not just abbreviation.
Nope. Okay. We need to see the words. What happens is in the participant list, they sort alphanumerically. This will keep you guys at the top.
Hi, Amy. Did you see the change I made to my profile?
I didn't, but I will trust you're good, and we can do tests tomorrow and Thursday offline. Okay?
Yeah, I can see it in my profile. That's it.
Like this, Amy, contest chair, that's it?
That is exactly it, Sylvain. Thank you.
Oh, I put in parentheses, but...
Yep, that's exactly.
Parentheses, that's okay.
It's exactly what we're looking for, yep. So once you do that, you are actually going to give the instruction to your contestants that they need to pin the timer. So if I have timers in the room, I want you to do the same thing. Click on the 3 ellipses, and you're going to change your name to bracket, timer, bracket, your name. Again, that helps keep your stuff up top so that the contest Zoom host can find you quickly to move you around. To pin a video, you are going to use the same 3 ellipses, and you'll see about the 4th option down, it says pin video. So when your contest chair gives you, as a contestant, gives you the name of the timer, you're going to pin the timer so that the video is prominent so that you get your timing cards right away or as appropriate and they don't get lost in the gallery of people. So during the
Amy, can you repeat that please again?
Yep. So to pin a video, you're going to hover over the timer. So in this case, just use anybody as an example, but you would hover over who your contest chair has indicated your timer, and you're going to click on those 3 ellipses, and you're going to scroll down to where it says pin video, and you'll just select that. So during the contest, very simple. Lead the contest as the contest chair. After the contest, you will need to be on Slack. So Slack is your communication throughout all of this. If you have a contestant that's coming up that was sequestered in another room, you need to put a notification up on your Slack channel that you've been added into to say that the contestant needs to get ready to come back into the room. The Zoom host will make that happen, but that's the communication. The one direct message that will be sent that does not go over a channel is from the chief judge to the contest chair directly via Slack, not via the Zoom chat, is the winners, the announcement of the winners, the first, second, and third place. So when the contest chair receives that, they will announce it at the end of the contest. You'll be thrilled that I just got told to slow down, so I will try hard to slow down. I'm very excited, and I know we're already at 9:03, so I want to make sure that we get through as much as possible. For the chief judge.
Allô, s'il vous plaît, j'ai une question.
Oui, mais...
Okay. En ce qui me concerne, supposons que je n'ai pas de caméra en tant que président de concours. Comment... à ce moment, est-ce que c'est important à ce qu'on me voit ou pas?
Je suis désolée. J'apprécie que vous attendez votre question à la fin de la session parce qu'il y a une...
D'accord.
Oui. Peut-être je vais répondre à votre question dans la session.
OK, d'accord. Merci.
Merci. So with the chief judge, you want to ensure that you are responsible for your voting judges, your tie-breaking judge, your ballot counters, and your timers. And again, the same thing. Before a contest, you make sure that they have all the forms. To my chief judges and my contest chairs, please take note of this. We are going to give you very specific documents that Craig Sr. has kindly put his time and effort in to make them fillable PDFs for those who don't have printers. So please wait until you receive those forms from us and then send them out so that anybody who doesn't have a printer at home still can fill them in appropriately. So when the contest or when the chief judge is doing their briefing, they will go through again. So you'll see all the same stuff registered with Slack. Most of you guys have already done this. The chief judge needs to provide a list to the Zoom host of all of their officials so that we can make sure that they're in the Slack channel appropriately. It would be preferred that this is not done 15 minutes before the contest, preferably the evening before. If you've got everything finalized, that would be the preference, please and thank you. The contest officials must be brief using live audio. That's as per the thing. You'll go through the alternative methods. If something fails, you're going to use your Slack channel designated to you just as the contest chair uses theirs. If any of the officials have a problem, again, you're using that same channel. You want to lead all your briefing as per normal. You want to also remind all your contest officials to change their name appropriately. As we've been discussing, bracket, role, bracket, name. This will greatly help out your contest chair, especially if the number of participants spectating the contest is large. We're not then scrolling through a huge list of people to find the officials that need to move. After the contest, once the final contestant has spoken, the Zoom host will sequester you into a breakout room and ballot counters to continue. So this is where I get into the process to the judge's ballot. So that we don't have judges all showing their ballot at once, potentially influencing other judges' scores or whatnot, we are actually going to call the judges into the sequestered room one by one. There is a process outlined for that above in the documentation. You can probably read, it was on page 2, I think, 2 or 3. So it will be the same for the timers. The timer will get brought into that room after the judges have left so that they can show their time record sheet. The same, if the tie-breaking judge is needed, the tie-breaking judge will be brought in. If the tie-breaking judge is not needed, the tie-breaking judge will never move. And they will stay in the contest and enjoy the evening. The chief judge proceeds to direct message, again, direct message not via Zoom, but via Slack, the contest chair with the results that have come out of the tally of the ballot counters. Everybody has the option to leave the breakout room by the little button, but they won't have the option to enter the main contest room until a host has let you in there. So you will just ask you to wait patiently in those rooms or in those holding pens until we can get everybody back into where they need to be. I'm gonna go, we're gonna keep going on to the contestants. So again, practice with your video, practice and be comfortable with it. Figure out how you can make yourself really big and animated and how you can get your message across with the energy. The one thing you need to know is in the rules stipulated by TI, it states that all participants' videos, with the exception of the timer, we will be turning videos off. You will have effectively no cues from the audience on how it's being received. So that's why we say practice at as many clubs as you can. Make a meeting with your family. Practice that way so that you are comfortable and prepared and give your best message. We ask you to coordinate with the contest chair about everything. Again, we refer to the process to sequester international speech contestants and table topics and how we will bring you in and out of those rooms. So we'll get into that afterwards. The designated speaking area, I've already read that out, so I won't do it here. If your contest chair has not reminded you to pin the timer's video, remind the contest chair that they need to tell everybody that. Because you don't want to go over your speech and you want to make sure that you have access to the official time that is being recorded. Deliver your speech and enjoy it. That's what you need to do during the contest. During the table topics, we go into that a little bit more. When you are sequestered into the room for the table topics contest, you will be asked to have your video on. You are expected to be visible, including your hands. So just hands, feel free to get those going. And given our situation now, try very hard to avoid touching your face. And the funny thing is as soon as you tell somebody don't touch your face, that's all they do. So yeah, that will be monitored by a sergeant at arms in the room with you. And I suspect that they will, find a way to see your hands visible. Not make you uncomfortable, but just keep things moving. After the contest, participate in the interviews and celebrate all your accomplishments. Now, between the contest chair and the contestants to choose the speaking order in the briefings, we have a couple different methods, and it's up to the contest chair how they would like to do it. I'm going to demonstrate one that was suggested amongst the district leaders when we were running samples the other night. But if you had a bunch of cards, and I can see Maximilian there, and if Maximilian told me as a speaker that he wanted D, okay, so that means that he is the second speaker. So if you put an identifier on the front and you have it mixed up on the bottom as to what the speaking order is, so if Maximilian is second, and I can see, I think that's Richard Tardif. So if Richard Tardif then chose F, he's speaker number 1. So just mix up the positions. That is one way of running through the speaking order. If you prefer, you can still use the card method. You would have the cards, down, but they would have to indicate and point. So make sure the cards are very clearly separated so that your speakers are telling you which card they are selecting. So it's just, there's a couple different options. You just want to make sure that it's fair to everybody. If you are doing this method, it was mentioned, and use a heavy paper or fold the paper as such that it is not visible through what the actual order is. That's my recommendation to that. Voting judges. So your role throughout all of this is to be briefed at the beginning. Now, what is different about how you will name yourself is you will not put bracket judge bracket your name, because if we remember, judges and tie voting judges are to remain anonymous. So you will be assigned a number. And at that point in time, when you enter the Zoom, immediately you are going to change your name to exclude your name, and it will simply say bracket judge number 1 bracket, or bracket judge number 2 bracket. We will have the list so that we know who to correspond with which number to bring in and out of the room through the Slack channel. So on Slack, let me be clear, on Slack, you are designated into a specific channel, and there is no need on Slack to change your name. So I'll ask that you don't change it on Slack, only on Zoom. You will go through your judging as you would in person, using the judge's ballot. And again, that will come from your chief judge. That will be the forms that we give them. Again, what Craig has done for fillable PDFs. After the contest, as soon as the last individual has spoken, you will continue to have the extra 2 to 3 minutes to finish off your ballot. Once you have finished, you will use your Slack channel to say, I'll use the words envelope up to indicate you're done. That's when your Zoom host will move you out into the sequestered room with the chief judge and the ballot counters. You will hold your ballot, and I don't have a ballot in front of me, but you will hold your ballot, not your scores, just fold it over to your ballot, and they can grab it from there. If you do not have a printer and you choose to do it electronically, you will share your screen and you will read your scores aloud to help verify that it is you. In fact, it would be preferred that you read your first, second, and third out loud when you show your ballot as well. You would then leave and the next judge would come in. So you will never see another judge in with the chief judge and the ballot counters. We're trying to give everybody as much privacy to their ballots as possible. And the same with the tie-breaking judge. So as per normal TI rules, the tie-breaking judge is not in the briefing anyways. And they will only be brought in if it is necessary at the very end of the process. So I think I've done that one quite well. So we're gonna go to we have 2 SAAs in every contest. We have an SAA who sits in the contest that shows the question for table topics. And then we have an SAA that's sequestered in the outside room. So I've already talked about the jazz hands and being with the contestants outside in a breakout room. I use the words outside, I apologize. It's in reference to a breakout room. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. I got so excited there. The SAA in the room will also have a method similar to the timer, that they will have their video prominent and that they will have on a sheet of paper the question either written or printed, and this will need to be tested beforehand, because if you go too close to the screen, nobody can read it. If you're too far, nobody can. So you want to make sure you're in the right place that the candidates can read the question as well. That will take a little bit of practice. I strongly recommend that the contest chairs and the SAAs who are in the room get together, have a conversation. Do not share the question until it is absolutely necessary, again, as per normal TI guidelines. But you can make up a question, write it on a sheet of paper, print it out to see what works and what doesn't work. I will also note with the timers, we are putting together a method that might be a little bit more obvious. When Craig and I were testing the timing lights, so anybody who has the air timer by Toastmasters International, it was actually really interesting that the green came out white to me, the yellow came out red, and then the red came out really, really red. So it was actually hard to see those colors. Timing cards are better if your timer, if we go low tech and your timer has the timing cards, those are the best method. And again, figure out where the color is best as to where you hold it in perspective to your camera. So these are all things that you as contest rules will have to sort of adjust to. I've already gone through the breakout room, the SAA and the breakout room. They're just hanging out with the contestants. So we're gonna go past that. Ballot counters, you will go in with the chief judge. The judges will hold up their ballots as you've heard, and you're going to simply complete your ballot tally form as you would any other contest. Again, at the very end, you will give your results to the chief judge. Either if you've done it electronically on screen, share your screen, or hold your results up. Make sure that both ballot counters equals the same. Problem solve if it doesn't, and you will go from there. If there is a protest, when the judges are called one by one, you would verbally state that you have a protest. The chief judge would, the chief judge would move through all the judges and then reconvene everybody into that meeting with an indication to the Zoom host that all judges need to be brought in to discuss the protest. And it would carry on as normal. We would have the discussion amongst the judges. We would bring the candidate into the breakout room so that they can have their say on it. And then they will leave. You will continue to discuss. A decision will be made, just as normal process. So we're gonna leave it at that. That is we've gone through timers. The timers, again, we're looking at methods, but I do recommend the cards are the best at this point in time. If you have the cards, try and get your hands on some cards. That is your best option. And pinning your videos, again, if it hasn't been reminded to pin the timer videos, make sure that it is reminded to the contest chair. In regards to the certificates for the contest participants, we're going to outline steps that if the contest chair wishes to show the certificates electronically on the screen, sharing their screen as I am now, they can certainly do that. We as a district have made the decision that we will mail a lovely cardstock version of your certificate to you at your home after the contest results are announced. So you want to wait a few days, it will show up. But we do want you to have the physical paper. It's an accomplishment, it's a memory. So we will honor that and make sure that it arrives to you. We've gone through all of the roles and the high level details. As you can see, I hope that you will feel comfortable reading this document. You will receive a final version, I'm gonna say by tomorrow night. And if you don't, you all need to message me and tell me that I owe you a document. So what I would like to do is begin to demonstrate the breakout rooms. So in reference to changing our names, I'm going to ask all judges without saying anything or without indicating anything to turn, actually we're going to ask everyone to turn off their videos at this point in time. So if we can all remove videos. You see people are slowly moving through that. Perfect.
Amy, juste pour vérifier, est-ce que ce document-là va être disponible sous peu? Is your documentation will be available soon? Is it available right now if we want to receive it, or?
So I sent it in, I uploaded it into the chat there and you can download it. Note it says draft. So it is not a final version. I'm hoping for tomorrow night for a final version. It will be Amy's version of translation. So I asked for help until we can get it actually translated with a better tool. So we are hoping for tomorrow night. Can I just confirm that all videos are off? Okay, so now that we have all videos off, I'm going to ask anybody who is anybody who is a contestant to rename yourself, bracket, contestant, bracket, your name, and that's it. Anybody who is a judge, I'm going to ask you to rename yourself, bracket, judge, bracket, no name. No name. You are just a judge. If I can ask chief judges to do the same. Rename yourself, bracket, chief judge, bracket, your name. Timers, same thing. Ballot counters, same thing. Bracket, ballot counter, bracket, your name. And SAAs, bracket, SAA, bracket, your name. Pour les concours de discours en français, je suis désolée. Les instructions vont changer pour français. C'est Houssier et tous les autres noms.
During the contest, we're going to have two screens on, one for the contest and one for the Slack chat, basically changing each person. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct, but I strongly recommend that you turn on your phone and there's a Slack application app that you can download, and it's just like a texting, you can get to all your channels through there.
Yeah, I'm good with computers, but phone is another story, so I would rather just leave it on there and just switch between the two.
Fair enough. So yeah, whatever is comfortable for you, Brad.
Okay.
Amy, where do I find to change my name? I can't find it.
Hover participants, hover over your name under more.
Okay.
And it says rename.
Ah.
There we go.
Rename. It just has me. I can't.
Okay.
More. More. I got it.
Okay.
Super.
So I'm going to ask everybody to keep their videos off. I'm going to ask everybody to keep their mics on mute.
Amy, I have just a question. You said that, is it for both contests, for the French and the English? If we are working for both, we rename first the English one, or?
Yep, you can pick one. We just need them to show up top, so it's all good. As long as you have the bracket for us, we're good. You can pick whichever English or French you're comfortable with.
So we do, by example, ASA and my name. What is the bracket?
Yep, I'll go into that afterwards, but I want to make sure that we hit breaking out into, sorry, Carol, I want to make sure that we hit going out into the breakout rooms quickly to give the question and answer period time before. I will explain in the documentation why the brackets are significant.
Amy, I'm not finding where to change my name. I'm not even seeing my camera anywhere.
All right, if you can't follow the instructions at this point, we'll just watch and follow along. We need to get through this demonstration as quickly as possible, so let's keep the questions till the end. Even if you can't follow the directions that are being handed, just sit back and relax and enjoy. We'll get through the demonstration, and I think things will become gradually much more clear as we go forward. And for any of the specific details about having to do individual things, we'll add those to the documents, etc., that we'll send out afterwards.
Yeah. So this is the moment where everybody is going to disappear on me. And what I'm going to ask is that it is very important that you don't panic and hang up. You have not gone anywhere. You've gone into limbo until we get you into the breakout rooms. So I'm about to open up all the breakout rooms. Stay tight, don't hang up. We will get you into a room so that you are discussing what needs to be discussed, and we'll show how some of that works. So hold tight. So we have 24 people just went into breakout room 1. Ron, can you go into breakout room 1 and make sure that everybody's okay?
You need to make me a co-host first.
Yep. There you go.
You need to assign me to a room, I think.
Hmm.
Patience, Antoine, we're assigning you soon.
Note to self, this will be a lot easier when there's only 12 officials. Yeah, the problem I'm having is that I've got people assigned in there, but I can't find a note. No, I can't find you. There we go. I've just assigned you into the breakout room 1. I should have. There we go. Sorry, for those of you who can still hear me, Ron just disappeared off the face of the earth because I sent him into a room.
If only we could all do that at any time.
So I have all of the people who have been unassigned here in this room. So this would effectively be what we're going to call the main contest room. And in the one breakout room, I put a bunch of ballot counters, a couple of chief judges, and a couple of judges in there just so that they can see how it all works. So I can see, Ibram, I'm going to assign you to breakout room 2. You are suddenly going to disappear on me. You're going to be potentially on your own, so hold tight. Emily Saint-Hilaire, I'm going to do the same to you. And I'm going to assign you to breakout room 3. That I know you are on your own. I'll throw somebody else in there for you. I have a chief judge here that has no name, but I'm going to put you out there. So what happens? You guys are here talking to me. So Rob, Rob Gill, do you have a role? Are you a contest chair? Oh.
I do not have a role. I was just checking that.
Oh, right on. I think you're actually a ballot counter in 1, so we're going to put you in with chief judges. So you're off to breakout room number 2. See ya.
Thank you.
So it's been fun as we went through this. Obviously with far less officials, so we have a lot of people that we're trying to demonstrate this with. I'm going to take the indication and assume that I have been given a Slack notification that Lee, as chief judge, she is ready to come back. She's done all of her assessments. She's notified the contest chair. So we are going to bring Lee back. Oh.
Put them rename as judge. Why can they not keep their name?
So we thought it would be easier to find the judges to do the assignment and moving them around.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that we may want to reconsider that given the picture problem.
Okay.
Lee, just a heads up, I'm moving you out.
Okay, Ron, I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
So the co-host is going to move each judge into my room one at a time, or do I have to move them in?
No.
Hello.
Hi, me.
So,
It's working.
Oui.
Oui, bravo.
Je pratique mon français pour un moment. Emily? Are you there?
Oui, I am there. Je suis là.
Oui, merci. Je vais pratiquer mon français, j'espère.
Tu l'as très bien, oui.
Merci pour votre participation parce que c'est difficile avec une grande équipe de 124 personnes. Oh my gosh, like, I wasn't expecting that many. I figured maybe 70 would show up. But I believe that in here we have, I want to say Ibram is in here. I pulled Lee Street into here. And we have 4 participants. Yes, and myself. So that makes, no, it's not Ibram in here. But anyways, so I'm going to put you guys back into the main room. So
I have a question for you before, Amy, if you allow me. I'm working now on the agenda of the contest on Friday evening, and how can I share the agenda with everyone?
The best would be, good question. Probably email, and then when you're on the chat, if you look, if you go to the bottom and see where it says participants, and there's a number 4, so click that, and a white list will come up to the side. On there is, oh, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Click on the chat button.
Chat, okay.
And then you'll see at the bottom, there's a little icon on the lower right that says file. You can upload it, and that way everybody in the contest will get it. And we upload it.
Okay. So at the beginning on Friday at 6 o'clock, I can say the welcome words and say, oh, hi, everybody, welcome to this contest. And I share the agenda to everyone at this moment.
Yeah. Make sure that it happens. And if not, it may be that you share your screen and the agenda just sort of sits there for the beginning and comes back and forth. Okay?
Okay, because I will be animated, but I have a director of contest, 2, one for English and one for French. So
fair enough. I'm going to close all the breakout rooms and bring everybody back into one shot.
Okay.
But
thanks for your help, Amy.
I recognize now that that will be, the agenda is something we need to work out how to share it with everybody. So we'll add that to the list.
Okay, I will make sure to have it prepared. So if you need it, I can share with you. Just send me an email.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can close all rooms.
The doctor, I found out. Hi, Amy's back. Story ends.
We were, oh, hey, what's going on? We don't have everybody here? Oh, no, we do.
On retourne dans la grande salle. Je sais pas qu'est-ce qui se passe.
Oui, merci, on a besoin de vous. Oui, on était seuls là, dans la grande salle.
Hey, the party, on fait la vague.
Ouais, very, very good.
Le party, chacun chez soi, c'est bon ça.
Bon, on se fait couper les caméras.
C'est ça, hein? Amy a coupé les caméras.
Hey, Amy, coupe pas les caméras.
Just because like I'm talking to myself here.
Amy, t'as coupé ma caméra.
No.
Yes, Amy?
T'as coupé la caméra à tout le monde. Je vais me plaindre à la patronne. That's a joke, no problem.
C'est clair qu'elle n'a pas compris ça, Sylvain, là.
It was a bit too fast for her. I will make a complaint to the person in charge, you.
C'est bon.
Just so I'm bringing everybody back in en masse. So I'm deleting all the breakout rooms. So anybody who was sequestered out for the last 2 minutes that wasn't a part of this should all be coming back in.
But apparently we have lost, let's say, 8.
8. 8.
Maybe there is one room that is not empty.
No, we've just emptied them all.
Okay.
So what I heard one of the questions being asked was, is there any requirement for you guys as officials to be moving people in and out of rooms? No, we didn't want you to be worried about that, stressed with that. So you guys do the roles as officials, and I am at your whim and your service to make sure that the people move where they need to move. Myself, along with Ron and Michelle, will make sure that we get everybody where they need to be and take that stress off of you guys. So I'm assuming everybody had the fun. I know I had a little conversation with Emily, and I had CJ, the chief judge, out there with us, and Lee Street threw her into the room. So you see how they kind of work, and they take you into smaller groups. When you chat in a breakout room, your chat does not transfer with you into the main session. So that's one thing that you need to know. However, because we are using Slack as a lot of these, nope, here we go. There might not be a lot of, sorry, lost the train. For the actual Zoom chat, there probably won't be a whole lot of communication going on that way, because it would all be done through Slack as the secondary mode of communication. And that way, if stuff scrolls up on a tiny little Zoom chat screen, you're not trying to scroll to find a message that is way beyond everybody talking. So I'm hoping that that gave everybody a little bit of a very tiny sample. Obviously, when the officials are down to, we'll say 12 judges, 2 ballot counters, so when we're down to a reasonable size of people that we're moving in and out of rooms, it will flow much better and quickly and smoothly. But it did give you a sample as to how it would work and how you'll have that privacy within your communication channel there, or your breakout room. Sorry, breakout room, proper terminology, breakout room. I'm going to open the floor to any questions, and I'm going to ask that you raise the hand via Zoom. And Daniel, if you can make sure that we're going through those one by one.
Absolutely. We can start with Ibrahim Kone.
Yes, Ibrahim.
Okay, I don't have my my webcam, my camera. It is look, I think.
Oh, it's off. So I suspect that one of our co-hosts or the hosts have taken.
My camera is off too.
Yeah, so it's we will, because the rules state that the cameras have to be off, we will do that until you get into a breakout room and make sure that that you have functionality of your camera in the breakout rooms, okay, in the small group.
Okay, my question is, this is very, very nice, but I'm asking me if my team can use it before our contest. I want to know if the committee will support us Sunday.
Yes, yes.
To dispatch a judge or a content. It is not our task, no? Eh?
Yep. So the 3 of us will be available for all the contests throughout the contest period, so that takes that alleviation off. Now, if I misunderstood your question, are you still looking for judges and officials to fill the roles?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you're still looking for judges and officials to fill the role, we have 116 people at the audience. So I would say if anybody can help Ibram out, who can take on a role in Division I, qui parle, Ibram, est-ce que vous besoin de personnes français ou anglais? Do you need the people in French or in English?
In French. In French.
Okay. So for anybody on in divisions A, B, C, D on the call right now, if you can help Ibram, message him directly, exchange contacts, and help Division I find and fill their officials' roles. Can we, Daniel, who's the next question?
Next one, Sylvain Derry.
Sylvain.
Moi, notre concours or contest will be on Friday evening. It is the first one of the row. So I think we will have to manage that maybe 1 hour before to verify everything, to be fluently comfortable for all the contestants and for all the judges and all the staff. And j'ai besoin, moi, qu'on soit rassuré sur la façon dont ça va fonctionner vendredi avant que ça commence. Moi, dans la journée de vendredi, on the Friday time, I will take all my day from 9 to 4 to offer to my contestant 20 minutes with me on Zoom to be to manage how they feel in front of a camera and to prepare them to be more comfortable for the evening.
Yep.
It will be just a timing to help them. But I know when we will have to be all together, we will have to manage that more clearly. I hope to read your document, even if it is a draft version, send it to me and I will read it. And if you give a second version or a third one, no problem, I will adjust myself. But it will be helpful to manage everything, because we will have, do we have as a chair contest to manage the breaking room or not? You will do that?
Yep.
Okay, you will do that, great.
We kept the rules as true as possible. So, and that meeting with, I suggest that for everybody. It's a great suggestion, Sylvain, that you meet with your contestants. Just give them a few minutes to sort of run through Zoom, push a couple of the buttons, push the chat feature, bring up the participants on the right so that they can see who's there and who's not, and just let them be comfortable with Zoom. Practice pinning videos, practice, just be comfortable before the contest so that the contestants have the best experience.
And I complete with that, and I cannot open my video. So is it already closed or somebody else? Because I see many hosts and maybe one of those have closed and I cannot open it back. So if I have the same problem Friday, it will be not funny.
No, we'll make sure that it's resolved. We'll get that worked out. Okay.
Here I am.
Perfect. Who's next?
Okay, thank you very much.
I see.
Hey, great job, by the way, for all the meeting, for all the gang. You who closed my camera again?
Okay, Sylvain, we've got other questions that have to go.
You're playing with me. I like that. Okay, just have to. Anyway, I don't need the camera to see my words. Thank you very much for the great stuff that you gave us tonight. I know how hard it is to manage that, and I understand that you are really dedicated with us, and we will be there on Friday evening, and we will have a great experience together. Thank you.
We've got more questions to get to.
Next question, next raised hand is Frédéric Moret. And I just want to comment, there are people who are asking questions in the chat box, and I think I will take care of the raised hand first. But if you have a question, there is a button called Raise Hand, and it depends on your interface. But if you have a desktop computer and you click at the bottom, there is it's called Manage. It's called Participant. If you click on Participant, you'll see a list of participants, and at the bottom you should see a button called Raise Hand. And some people may be different depending on your system, but if you click on Raise Hand, I will see that you have a question. Next is Frédéric Moret.
Okay, hi everyone, thanks. Well, essentially, I don't have a clue if I ended up in a breakout room, and I cannot turn my video back on, so I don't have a clue if I went anywhere or I stayed in limbo out somewhere. So put 20 seconds on that.
Yeah, I believe that I didn't, so I wasn't able to transfer all 118 people in. And again, that comes down to the naming. So when you guys name you rename your names, because it sorts alphanumerically, we will be able to get to just the officials very quickly to make sure that you can see that. If you want to see more demonstration on breakout rooms, we'll do that tomorrow night as well, and on Thursday. So I'll make sure that there's a little time in there, and hopefully maybe with smaller groups, I'll be able to, we'll make it happen. If you want to have fun with breakout rooms just on your own, and I'm not going to go into the instructions here, but it is actually available on the free feature of Zoom. I've been able to do it on my own little account, so you can easily test it out just to see how the actual functionality works. I'm not going to go into that one, but just Google breakout rooms in Zoom, and you can learn how to set up your own breakout rooms.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Carole Gagnon.
Perfect, Carol. Sorry about that earlier.
No, it's okay. It just, the question was asked to me, will there be another session planned and tomorrow or Thursday?
Yep, so we do. I have time available for everybody tomorrow and on Thursday to make sure that I can answer as many questions as possible. I fully admit to you guys that I did not want to send an agenda for those 2 dates until I knew how tonight went so that I could focus it better. So I'll put out a little bit of an agenda, and again, we'll leave a lot of open time for question and answers in both nights.
Okay, so you don't know for now at what time we will begin and...
No, I will send the information out right afterwards so that you guys have the links and information available to you so that you have that right away. Tomorrow night I can guarantee you it will start at 8:30 again and go until 10. Thursday night will be much earlier.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Amy?
Oui.
Est-ce que Tuesday night can be to 8:30?
Oui.
8:30, perfect. Oui. Good.
And who's next?
Next, Evester. It says Evester or Ivester, but I'm not sure.
We're not sure who that is.
Je pense que c'est Yves, un speech contestant. Yves, t'es-tu là?
Oh. Is Eve there?
Maybe next, and we will continue.
Wait, next, Eric. Next, Eric.
He's there. He's typing.
Oh, he's muted. Hold on. Yeah. Eric, is that better? Nope. Eric was muted as well.
Yves, ton micro semble ouvert. Est-ce que tu es sur mute de ton côté? Parce que ici, à l'écran, ton micro apparaît comme ouvert, Yves.
For everyone, if you look at the top of your little window, there's your icon. You'll see the 2 little buttons. You'll be able to mute or unmute yourself. They give us the ability. Pour les francophones, si vous êtes sur mute, regardez en haut à droite sur votre propre icône, il y a 3 petits boutons. Vous allez avoir un menu qui va apparaître. Vous pouvez vous allumer ou fermer le micro.
Merci, Sylvain.
Okay, next, Sasha Shirokova.
Oh, I can see Eric is here. He just needed to be unmuted. So we'll go with Eric first and then we'll go to Sasha.
Yep.
Eric, go ahead. Or maybe not. Yep, let's move on to Sasha.
The stars don't align for Eric. Hello, hello everybody, and thank you, Emmy, for the instructions and the time today. I have a question about the format of our presentation as speakers. You have mentioned that it's important to have our face visible as well as our hands, but I was wondering if I have a microphone that is 2 or 3 meters long and I step away from my computer a little bit so that my body is visible and I do like a jump and move or, you know, some animation. Is that accessible?
There's nothing saying that it's not. It's just that you want to be sure that your facial expressions are visible. So there's no rule saying that you can't move. And I apologize. Let me clarify that hands being visible is only when you're in sequestered with the SAA for table topics. That is the only time that's relevant. You don't need to do your speech with your hands up. But as for moving, it's whatever, the contest chair will go through that as part of the briefings, as part of the new online information that's come out. And they will let you know if your face is visible, because I'm pretty sure if I go back this way, you can't see a lot of my gestures, whereas up here I can. It will be very computer to computer, and it has to be what you are ultimately comfortable with, okay?
Right, okay, because basically there is a risk if you step far away and you want to demonstrate a whole picture, then, you know, the flip side of that is that people will not see your face properly.
Exactly. So it comes down to what you're comfortable with. If that's what you are, yeah, it comes down to your own comfort for that. Okay. So we're going to go on to Julie, I think.
Eric is back.
I see Eric is waving.
Eric's back. Hi, Eric. Oh, no mic.
Okay, Eric's volume next.
Eric,
we don't hear you.
Eric, we can see you, but we can't hear you, and you're unmuted, so I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, Eric. Julie.
So a couple of things. Being a contest chair, you know how you're briefing your contestants in the breakout room, doing the legibility and the rules, that sort of thing. So as a contest chair and doing their intro, are we going to be repeating the rules and the eligibility? I'm just thinking about time.
So there is time built into the minute by minutes that we'll be sending to all the division directors for a template for you guys to use. There's always in any contest, online or in person, there are certain rules that you can let go. I'm actually going to defer to Ron on answering that one. Ron, can you step in and say the
Because I would do the whole thing, but I want to ensure that protocol is still the same as if you're live.
Yeah.
You should have the ability to do the same briefing that you would do in person. There should be enough time for that. Of course, if you're answering a bunch of additional questions, you may run out of time. So you'll want to make sure that you do it efficiently.
Yeah, but as a contest chair and, you're doing your introductions to the audience and, would you go in?
So the amount of stuff we share with the audience can be far more limited than a lot of chairs have done in the past. We're not at the club level, we're at the division level.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing you really have to say is stuff that's pertinent to the audience. Eligibility and all of those things, those are issues for the judges and the contestants.
Yeah, so I can do like a beautiful little paragraph that everyone has been briefed and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you reviewed all the rules, etc. And the only thing that you would want to cover is the stuff that's relevant to the members of the audience. Like don't unmute yourself, don't turn your cameras on,
right?
That kind of thing.
Okay, so one more question is, in a typical contest, like Division D was going to open doors at 9, do a briefing at 9:30 with the contest starting at 10. But being video, I have a feeling it's going to take a lot longer briefing contestants if we start at 9:30. Do you think that'll still be adequate time?
Most of the briefings should take 30 minutes. I know in person, because you do have to add a few more things to the briefing.
Yeah,
so
with the camera and the lighting and all that stuff.
Read this document through. This is not the one that I did up on rolls, but this is TI's. Read it through. Make sure that you have included all of that information to your contestants.
Okay.
So I
share that document with the contestants?
I'm sorry?
Can we share that document with the contestants?
That document was emailed to all the members in the email that went, my days are all mixed up, but there was an email that went from Kimberly that had
I have it.
all it in there.
Just wasn't sure if the contestants were getting it, because
one of the links in there, and that email went to all members across the district. So one of the links in there is actually to this document. If you're looking for it on TI's website, go to the COVID-19 updates and the March 12th update. You'll download it from there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and who do we have next?
Tommy?
Hi, Amy.
Are you there?
Hi, Tommy. How's it going?
Yeah, I have an easy question. Can you just quickly go, how do you pin the timer video again? How do you do that?
So when you are given the timer's name, and they will be indicated again so I can see.
Oh, okay,
Denise
okay.
Chow. So you're gonna go hover over Denny's name, or that's what's prominent in mine. You can hover over the person's name, click on more, and there's no, I'm sorry, you can't do it from there. On the actual video, their little square, you'll see the 3 ellipses, and there is a pin the video right up top. Okay.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Perfect. Denis.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Thank you for sharing, actually, for all the information for tonight. I have a quick question. Help me out. The reason why is because I see there's other timers. So which one are we?
So This is an information session only. We've got all contest officials from all over the district. So when I say to anybody who's a timer, change their name, trust me, when you get to your own contest, there will just be 2 timers.
Okay, understood. All right, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sylvain.
May I?
Yes. Had to unmute myself. Will there be an opportunity? I'm offering my interpretation services because there's a lot of Francophone who dearly want to hear this also. To do separate runs with just officials, separate one with just contestants. I think it would be, it's more work for you, yes, but I think it'll be a lot quicker for each of them and probably put them at ease. I'm thinking of first-time contestants.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more. So thank you, Sylvain. I'll take you up on that and we will chat on either, I'll send you a text message once this is all done, and we'll confirm either tomorrow night or Thursday night to put an hour aside for just French.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mary Claire.
Hi, Amy. I would like to thank you and all the team for the great work. That's the first time actually I will participate to a contest. I have 2 questions. Maybe let me. I do realize I didn't put my video on.
You might not be able to, so just go with the
question. So the first question is, I've been asked by a few members if they would be able to assist to the contest as a public audience.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
So we can share the link? How does it work?
Yep. So the email that went out with Kimberly, we'll send another one to the division directors looking for the link. You can send that far and wide. If you have friends in the States, if you have friends in Australia and they want to see you compete, feel free to send it to them.
All right. Okay. So I guess some people will be happy if they can wake up early enough, actually in Montreal. Yep. My second question is related. You've been referring to a document that you uploaded on the Zoom, but I don't seem to be able to access to it. Was it uploaded in the chat box, or there is a specific place in Zoom where I can access to it?
It was uploaded in the chat, but I will email the official document tomorrow, like a completed document. I'm going to ask for everybody's patience to give me until the evening to email it, but I will have it finalized by then. I would say right now it's shockingly at 90%, so it's pretty close.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
You too. Francis Rounding.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I would like to know if it's important or it's a necessity for the president or for the contester, as I am in French, to have a video.
No, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not necessary. I did put it in the technical requirements, but you're right, it's not necessary.
Okay, but how the contestant?
No, I'm sorry, I am incorrect. I'm going to correct myself. Because all the briefings have to be done using live audio and video, the contest chair and the chief judge must have, I knew there was a reason I had that in there. Yes, the contest chair must have video.
Must have, okay. Okay, I have to see that.
They have to see you and you have to see the contestants.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to see if I can fix it. If not.
For those who might have computers that don't have video that need it, one alternative that many of us have is a smartphone with a camera. Zoom works pretty well on the smartphone.
Okay. Yes, you're right.
Or if you have a Value Village nearby, you can go collect one for about $1.99.
Yes.
Perfect.
J'ai essayé tantôt, mais j'ai accédé avec mon portable et mon ordinateur portable, mais lorsque j'ai essayé de monter, sur l'audience avec mon téléphone, c'était déjà bloqué parce que un nombre de 100 a été déjà atteint. Donc, c'est sûr, avec mon téléphone, effectivement, je sais que je peux monter. Allô?
Oui. Ron, did you catch that? Rémi, je suis désolée. La tête est pleine maintenant. Ron.
OK.
Peux-tu répéter la question, Rémi?
Non, j'ai dit, oui, je sais très bien que je peux accéder, avec mon téléphone cellulaire, parce que la caméra est parfaite, est excellente. Mais là, je suis sur mon portable. Et la dernière fois, mais j'ai essayé avec mon téléphone cellulaire après avoir intégré l'audience via mon ordinateur. Mais l'audience, il y avait déjà un nombre supérieur à 100. Donc, je ne pouvais pas intégrer l'audience avec mon téléphone cellulaire à ce moment-là.
Oui,
donc,
on avait eu une limite qu'on a changée durant la réunion.
Ah, OK, OK.
Passer la centaine.
Ah, OK, je ne me suis pas rendu compte, sinon j'aurais accédé avec mon portable. D'accord, merci beaucoup, Ron.
Tu peux essayer maintenant si tu veux.
OK, d'accord.
Daniel, can you guide us through who's next?
Sandra Fénelon.
Yes, perfect. Great job. This is fantastic. I'm sure that we have to practice to get better at it. But what I'm trying to understand, since I'm going to be a contestant in French, do I link into the same Zoom, or will you have different Zooms for different?
No, we have one Zoom link for all the contests. So at the time that your contest and your briefing start, just log in. You can actually log in minutes beforehand to make sure you're comfortable and you're in there and you're settled. So yeah, just one link for all contests, French and English, from Division A to Division I, one link.
Inside the link, then you will send us to a separate room, right? We don't have to do anything. We just log in.
That is correct. Yep.
And we wait for you to move us around.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Once we have done our speech, what's happening? What will happen? Just run back to the.
Hold on, Sandra. I was able to catch the first two questions, but your microphone's really cutting out. I can't catch the question there.
Could you try typing it into the chat?
Is it better?
No, it's not better. If you could type in your question in the chat, we'll answer it.
So yeah, I'll do that. Thank you.
And this is the. If I may, Amy, if I may, it is the kind of problem that we could have on the next contest, that a microphone of a person not working properly. So if we are able to manage that before the meeting with the contestant, it will be helpful for them.
That's why So Sylvain, that's why I'm advising you to go to different clubs and test it out. Make sure it is the responsibility of the speaker to make sure that their equipment is functioning properly. So it is the responsibility of the speaker, and that's why I strongly advise everyone, go test it out. Go create meetings, try it, attend all kinds of other club meetings. It's a good practice. Daniel, are we at Michelle now?
Michelle Collin?
Yeah. Just let me see if Sandra, I didn't see Sandra's question in there.
Okay.
So Michelle.
Do you hear me?
I do.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, like me, I write my name on I rename it contest Michel Collin, and I don't see my name.
No, it's there. It gives the Zoom host everything that they need. So I can see contest chair. You'll rise above the other names on the list so that we can easily grab you to move you out, or to put you into anyways, we can easily grab all the officials to move them where they need to move.
Okay,
so you've done it perfectly.
at the same time, I don't see my video.
The video has been taken off by all of the by our hosts, so that's has been removed from your control for tonight. But it will make sure that it's on for your contest.
I'm continuously turning off people's videos.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Monique.
Hi. I have a question about the contest, the judging criteria. In the Zoom format now, it's going to be difficult to, even though we will test it out using, you know, a new camera and all that kind of stuff, but will the judging criteria be changed or altered because it is? No?
We've only
gestures, sorry, go ahead.
We've only been given permission from TI to host the contest online. All other forms, all other criteria remain the same. However, I'm going to sorry, I'm pointing out there. I'm going to ask Ron to jump in for a moment and to answer about the audience and the gestures question.
Yeah, so you'll want to, as part of your setup, the things you want to test, and perhaps the contest chair in the briefing, what they will do is advise you to position yourself so that the upper half of your body is visible, and that you have some stage, but you know, not as much as you're probably used to. I'm going to turn on my camera and demonstrate this. So my camera is low right now, so when I stand, I'm cut off. So you want to set your camera up, whether it's your computer or your phone, at a place where you know you can see, and you know you have some ability to move around, and that ideally you're visible from about the waist up. Yeah.
Similar to what we did when we did at the last year's contest, we mark up the floor.
Exactly. Yeah.
In our living room and test it out that way. So that way we have some. So sometimes if you're back away from the camera, your facial expression. So it's basically, it's still a lot more restricted by way of speaking area than a live format.
Yeah, it's definitely smaller than you would be used to, and so everybody's on the same playing field from that perspective. You know, if you create a large speaking area for yourself, you'll be much too far back from the camera to be able to see all of your facial expressions. If you're too close, then you're limiting. You know, if I get this close to the camera, I have very limited ability to move around, and so we're trying to find that happy medium for everybody. And the document that Amy mentioned that has the TI guidelines does show a nice frame of last year's world champion in his video about how you might want to set it up for yourself in a Zoom format.
Okay, and I'm hoping in the document that we'll have some technical tips, because I have a stationary camera in my laptop, so I am gonna go buy a webcam, but I'm just kind of curious which one.
There's no technical tips, and that's where it comes to the advice of practice, practice, practice.
Yeah, I understand the practice bit, but I was curious if people have had success with certain webcams over others. That's all.
No, I would recommend posting that on the Facebook group or the TI International Facebook group and just see what kind of responses you get, because probably people have done it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
If I may say something, the most important thing is your uplink speed from your internet provider. Yeah. So if you have ADSL where it's low uplink limits and other people in your house are using the video, you're going to have very poor performance. Using the uplink link, you're going to have very poor performance in your video. Right? And so this is something you have to worry about. That's the most important thing, because most cameras will work very well, except if your uplink speed is very poor or intermittent.
I'll let you guys take the technical conversation offline, and we'll keep going through the questions here.
Thank you.
I think I've got Tony is next. Is that correct, Daniel?
That's correct.
Perfect. Tony.
Yeah, so in the instruction set, I saw that it said, as a table topics contestant, I'm going to want to pin the timer. Makes sense. But I'm also going to want to pin the Sergeant at Arms because he has the question, and you can only pin
one video.
one video at a time. How? What kind of flow do we foresee happening there?
Because all the other audiences, so I'll outline this as well in the document. So that's why it's highlighted. I need to enhance it. There is an option because because all the videos will be off from the audience, there is an option to hide all unvideoed people, which will leave the SAA and the timer as the only two videos up front.
Okay.
That will maintain a version. So knowing we want the timer pinned because they hold the key to the contestant, but the SAA needs to be visible for the front, and if they fall off afterward, that's fine. But they will be visible at the very front to give the question. I don't know why I'm using my hands so much. I apologize.
Sorry, and you said you would be putting the instructions on how to set that up for myself in the
That'll,
okay, very good.
Tomorrow's version.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Excuse-moi. Hello? Oui, oui.
We're going to go with Laurent first because he's been waiting for a while.
I'm here. Okay, so can you explain what is exactly the Slack channel and what is the purpose of this and how do we register?
Yep. So in the invite, I will make sure that the link is in any email that I send going forward. So Slack is, the best way to describe it is a communication channel. It's like texting on speed, but that's irrelevant. Basically, we needed a secondary communication. As per the guidelines, we needed a secondary communication. We also needed to facilitate communication quickly. And rather than trying to share contacts and, you know, does somebody have the right number? Do they have for texting? We put everybody in the Slack channel because it is actually a formal channel that the district uses. So when you register in there, your Zoom host will take care of you and put you into the right channel. So that if you have any issues, you just send a message there and we'll do a quick communication. So I've actually lined Tony up unknowingly to be the Slack guru for tomorrow night. So we'll make sure that there's a time that you guys are aware that Tony will be available for you, and we'll put you into a breakout room and you can have that conversation about Slack over there.
Okay, but how do we log on to that Slack channel? When I click on the link, they said there were no more, it was not available anymore.
Oh, interesting. So another person had the same problem and they kept going and they got in. So I'm thinking we had a lot of connectivity issues this morning. I might be speaking out of my bum, so I apologize, but there was a lot of internet stuff going on and I'm just assuming because the mass of the world is on the internet right now. So just keep trying, Laurent. If you can't get in, let me know, you know, by tomorrow. If by tomorrow afternoon you're still having problems, we'll see what we can do or what the issue, if we can find what the issue is.
Okay, one last question. I didn't get how to pin the timer video. Because right now I only see myself on the screen, but what else?
So when you should see my video up at the top.
I do?
Yep. So when you're in your contest, you will be given the name of your timer. If you hover over top of my video, there's 3 little dots. It says, so you could mute me, and 3 little dots. Click on those 3 little dots, and then pin video is the 3rd option down. On mine, it's the 3rd option down.
Okay, but then I only see you. I don't see me anymore when I give my speech.
So then play around with the
hold on. That's correct. That's correct. You're not going to see yourself during the contest.
Okay. They're usually...
Well, because as I do my speech, I want to make sure that I'm in front of a screen and everyone sees me.
You try through the different views. I've always, when I pin people, hold on, let me try this. I'm going to embarrass myself. I still show, so check your view. If you're on speaker view, I can still see myself. If I'm on gallery view, I still see myself. So just play around with the view, but you can pin that way and still see yourself.
I've given you permission to start your camera and you can play around with it while we move on to the next questions.
Thank you.
Sue, I believe you're up next.
Great. Thank you so much. We mentioned earlier for officials getting judge numbers or sergeant-at-arms in the room, sergeant-at-arms somewhere else. Can all that information be provided to officials ahead of time so they can change their profile before they log in?
Most
as opposed to, okay, perfect. Great.
Yeah, because we want to keep as many of those details at the beginning, just again, so it's not a last minute thing, so that people know right away to come in, especially judges, right away to come in, turn your video off, change your name so that you're anonymous.
Well, the other thing too is that I'm noticing, for instance, Sylvain Degg, you have a beautiful photo when your video is off. However, as a contest chair, that's wonderful, but if you were a judge, not so much. So probably should change the profile photo before you log on as well.
That is a great point, and I'm making a note of it.
Okay. And last point, I'd like to give a plug pour nos membres francophones. Je pourrais imaginer, ça serait mieux d'avoir une session d'information tout en français, peut-être demain soir ou jeudi soir, parce que la plupart du temps, nous parlons en anglais, n'est-ce pas? Donc, ça serait mieux d'avoir une discussion tout en français,
Oui.
selon moi.
Oui, oui.
Merci.
Next,
Bob.
Bob Kaiser.
Hang on, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't hear Sandra's questions. She probably asked ones that I was going to ask. I'm assuming we're going to see the speakers as contestants.
No, if you remain in the room, you are part of the audience.
Okay, so like as a table topic, would I see anybody going after me?
No, because
well, yes.
My apologies. You will see the speakers. You will have to turn your screen off when
Okay.
you're not speaking. Yes, I apologize.
Okay, but even the ones after myself, I won't see them.
You won't see the ones before you because you'll be sequestered into.
Absolutely, I understand that. But the ones after, would I see?
You're more than welcome to stay in the room and just turn your screen off and you're good, or your video off, and you're good. Yep.
Okay. The second question I have is we're going to be able to, the tabletop, these contestants can see all the international speech contests too, can't they?
Yep. Yeah.
And I could, being Division F, I could go on Friday and zoom into it without creating any limit problems and actually watch the contest, so I discover how this works a little bit better.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. And the final thing, like, well, the pin, I had the same problem as the previous question. When I actually figured out how to do a pin, and I guess you would be the timer, I can't see myself. And I would worry like that fellow, because this is a weird format. You know, a lot of us have used Skype, but we're not walking or doing. You could easily walk off out of the screen very easily. So it would be an advantage to at least see if you yourself are in the frame of the screen.
I agree. Unfortunately,
I agree.
I don't have a technical answer for you right now, but I'll see what I can find out, because like I said, when I pin the videos, I can still see me. So I'll see how we can play around with that.
I think that's a really important issue for any of the speakers, okay? Because we're not adept at being on an X square on a floor with a camera that small that's not moving.
Yeah, so I will actually make that an open request. If anybody can find it who's joining us tomorrow night and tell us how it changes, I will do my best, but I don't know if I can find it fast enough either. So it's an open question to anybody. If you figure out how to pin a video and keep yourself visible, share it.
Okay, because that asks, you could think you'd be doing a good speech, but you might not see my head.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And I think that could be an issue. But last question, using this format, you have a chat channel. Why does a contestant have to use Slack? Why can't we just ask questions through the chat?
Because we don't inadvertently want the wrong information going to the wrong group of people in the chat. And it's too easy in the Zoom chat to try and send a private message that's very public. And vice versa.
There is an additional reason.
Okay.
If there's a technical failure of Zoom, we need a secondary communication channel to keep in touch with important folks like the contestants and the officials. And so that's the role that Slack is also playing.
Will Slack be a separate screen, or will Slack be
It's a separate application that you can access through an app or a website or your phone. It's completely independent from Zoom.
Okay, so my phone, or I could set up a second screen on my computer and just zip into Slack.
You don't need to have Slack visible while you're competing or anything like that. Slack is used if there's a technical failure.
Okay.
Or by contest officials like judges to signal that they're ready to hand in their ballot.
Okay, no, now I get it. So you worry as a contestant about the Zoom, and then if you have questions afterwards, you can change your computer onto Slack. You can just go on the Slack. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Appreciate it. Hey, this is my only advice would be, if you ever do this again in a big way, maybe separate the learning session for contestants and for the roles of contest chairs and all that.
Noted. And if we'd had much more time, would have been able to come. But I agree with you, Falk. It's very different learning.
And I would love to see, you don't need to do a large, you could do a table topic for somebody, just do a mock one so all the international contestants could see. Yeah. And maybe let us know what like you said, where to look at somebody using this format on a speech.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you, Falk.
Thank you.
Amy, I have a question.
Hold on, Jim's had his hand up, so if you want to put your hand up, Dina, just to get yourself into the queue. Sorry, there's been people waiting there. Jim, I think you're up next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I just have 3 quick points. The profile pic, I put up a profile pic because I saw Sylvain's, and then I realized to delete it, you actually have to go on Zoom website to delete it, and it doesn't delete it right away. I think you have to do it before you join the meeting, so be careful about that. Okay. And then I wondered about the limit. If you have 500 or 1,000, I guess if we have 1,000 limit, maybe it's not going to be an issue. But inviting many people, I wonder if we're going to max out again.
So I know that the district is making plans to expand it, and that will be a trio decision how big they go.
We're currently at 500.
Yeah, we're at 500 now. I don't think we'll need to go larger than that.
Okay. And then the last point is just Zoom is giving a warning that you can't join in if you have a basic account with phoning or audio. So just be aware of that. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have a basic account. We have a paid account.
But I just wondered if the person that's joining has any restriction.
Yeah, it's a function of the host, not the person that joins.
That's all my points.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Lynn. Oh, you want to unmute yourself.
That's me?
Oui, je suis là. M'entendez-vous?
Lynn, yeah.
Yeah. Je suis allée voir le document que tu nous as montré sur le site web, mais on dirait que ce n'est pas la même version. Is it another version that you will put on the website later?
Yes, a more finished one.
Okay, because the one on the website is there is less information than the one that you just show us.
Are you talking TI's website?
No, not District 61 website. You put a link. You put a link on for the documents.
I have to admit, I haven't been on the district site for any of the new online speech stuff.
But le document que tu as montré tout à l'heure, on peut le retrouver à quel endroit?
Oh. Je suis désolée. Cet document ici?
Non.
The other one. We'll try and get it put onto, possibly. We'll see where we can put it. Let me say that.
Okay, so there is no document.
No, it will be emailed to everybody tomorrow night to make sure that it gets out quickly, but we will see about putting it up on TI's website. Or not TI, sorry, not TI's. It's getting late, I apologize. TMD 61.
Okay, so tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay, merci.
Daria? Iwana.
Okay. I have a question about the ballot counter because I a ballot counter, but I have not been able to understand what happened in the time that everybody was gone to the breakout rooms. I was kind of sitting, waiting to see what's going on.
When the contestants are done speaking, the ballot counters and the chief judge will be sequestered into a breakout room, and one by one, the judges will be brought into that breakout room to show their ballots, as Ron is doing now. You, as a ballot counter, will fill out your ballot tally sheet. You will show it to the chief judge. You will show it to your other ballot counters when all the judges are gone, and you will tally your results as you would in a room together. Once you guys have the results finished, you would send a Slack notification. The chief judge will send a Slack notification to the Zoom host, and they will move you back into the main contest room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The other thing is too that I'm using iPad. I'm not sure how it works on the computer. I can't have Zoom on the computer. And here I don't have any option that says pin video. So do I need to pin any video myself? I don't know.
As a counter, no.
No.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Am I reading this correct, Daniel, that Yasmin is next?
Yes.
Yasmin, we're getting a lot of static, but no voice.
How about now?
Oh, there we go.
Sorry. Hi, Amy. So thanks for all the work put into it to make sure you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. So just a couple quick things. I know Todd was talking about this, but I just want to make sure that as contestants, we can see ourselves while we're speaking to make sure that we're in frame. I know we'll have the timer pinned, but we'll still be able to have access to our own video. Am I correct?
So I've put that out as an open question to anybody, because in the video I see myself, like when I pin other videos. So whoever figures it out, share it with us. We'll be happy to take that information.
Okay.
I'll do it, Amy. I'm selecting myself. I'm on a Mac and I have select active speaker, so I end up with a little pop-up window of myself in the corner, and then I see whoever I pin as the main window. I can still see both.
Yeah, so I can change it so that I'm equally as big. If I go to the gallery view versus speaker view, I'm equally as big as the video that I've pinned. So there's various ways to do it. Like, so you just want to play around with that, Yasmin. And like I said, the minute you find out, send me an email. I'll let everybody know.
Sure. I guess it depends on the interface. And the other quick thing was, is everything still the same time as of right now for the contest scheduled?
That is a good point, and we will bring it up with the trio. For divisions A, B, C, and D, the answer is yes. Division H, yes. For division I, yes. For G and F, we might have timing problems that we just have to delay it by an hour or two, but that is not an official communication from me. That will come out from the trio tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amy, for your question about seeing yourself, one can also create a second Zoom session on a cell phone, and then you can just see yourself as the participants would see you. So that's an alternate way of, as a speaker, to see yourself.
I would refrain from that because both sessions will show up as different people, and one will be sequestered, and the other one won't be.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. Dina, now we come to Dina.
Yeah. So actually, I want to discuss the same thing that we're discussing about the video, because I'm a timer. So I don't know if you can. I can start my video. Can you give me the video, right, please?
There you go.
You get okay. So I think if I understand right, as a timer, I need to see the person, and the person will be able to see me, right? To be able to time. And I think that one of the options I was thinking while you're talking, that if we can hide those who don't show the videos, this might be something. I did it while you're speaking, but I couldn't. So when I pin your video, I can see you clearly. but when I pin myself, I see myself. So this is a little bit.
So you as timer won't pin yourself. You won't pin anybody.
Yes.
You don't pin anybody. Everybody will be pinning you.
Yes, I know. But how they are going to pin me, I want to make sure that they can see the colors.
Yep. So if you see Ron's holding up cards there, so they will.
See, yes. Yeah.
So practice the distance that you need to hold, because like I said, there's some colors that you hold too close and they're not the same color that you see. So you want to just practice, and it sounds goofy to practice holding a card. I understand that, but do it for the sake of the contestants. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. That's okay. Okay. So,
yeah.
We've done more weird stuff. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's okay. So that's important. So it's not my worry that the contestant will see me or not, because this is very important.
They will pin you and they will be able to see you.
And okay, and I don't need to pin them as long as I time their speech. Okay, and the time is the same as regular contests. Okay.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to move on to JA. I think.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great. I have two questions. By the way, great job. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing for the contest. What will I hear? Will I hear the audience reaction or not?
No, they have to mute by TI guidelines. They have to mute their videos and their audio. So you will have no audience feedback, and it's been a conversation amongst a lot of the contestants, was because speech is quite often you gain energy from what you get from the audience.
Yeah, and you let people laugh.
Yeah, and everybody's on the same platform, that nobody will have audio, nobody will have visual cues. So it's the same challenge that everybody's facing.
Okay. My second question, the speaking area is the video by itself, the frame. Okay. If I get out of frame, will it be considered as poor management of the speaking areas?
I can give my opinion, but my opinion doesn't count for a whole lot. So I'm actually going to let Ron state an official answer on that one.
Like for judges, let's say.
Yeah, so judges will interpret those rules as individually. I would expect a reasonable individual to see someone who's moving out of frame as moving out of the speaking area, and to score that particular piece on the ballot accordingly. If you were to do that at the district contest, I believe that the video would result in a disqualification at this point per the guidelines. So I would highly recommend, not just for the judges, but for the district level contest in particular, that you not exit the frame.
Yeah, but if you're just doing it by mistake, well, it's okay. I get it.
Yeah. So at the division level, there's no disqualification for it. It's just, the judge's interpretation of how effectively you use the speaking area. At the district level, unless we get further guidance from TI, my expectation would be the standard would be that could be a potential disqualification. I suspect they'll be somewhat lenient. We were on a call earlier today with some folks in Region 14 who've been isolated for longer, and they've gone through some contests, and TI has granted them some level of leeway around district contests so that they might not have granted other people that were doing it in person. So it's possible that an accidental hand out of a frame is not going to result in a disqualification in the quarterfinals, but I don't have an official word that is in fact going to be the case.
Si je peux me permettre par rapport à ça, il faut dire que c'est la première fois qu'on va faire ça au district. J'espère qu'il va y avoir un certain laxisme qui va être un certain... ils vont permettre un petit peu un léger décalage. On n'a pas beaucoup de pratique, là, puis ça se passe beaucoup en rush. So I hope that there will be some flexibility.
Oui, je dirais au niveau de la division et même notre concours de district, Les juges ne peuvent pas te disqualifier pour ça, mais ils peuvent déduire des points dans leur vue si tu n'utilises pas la pièce comme il faut. La concerne pour moi, pour notre gagnant du district dans le discours international, c'est quoi les règles de Toastmasters international à ce niveau. L'année passée, il y a eu des disqualifications parce que les gens n'ont pas respecté les règles.
Okay, no, I get it for the international, but the district might be some flexibility there.
Yeah, I don't. Nobody's going to get disqualified, but judges are going to use their judgment on how to interpret that area. And I would recommend doing your best to stay in frame.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Ibrahim?
Yep, we've got him up next.
Yeah, Amy, I want to know when you feel you can send us the link of mock contest. Tomorrow.
That I'll send. You'll. I was hoping tonight, but there's a really good chance that's not going to happen tonight. But you'll have it very, very early tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you.
But I can assure you that tomorrow night will start at 8:30 again. Thursday night will be much earlier.
Okay, thank you.
Fox again.
Sorry, I have you pinned. Whoever is hosting this, let me start my video. I'll see if I see myself. You're not allowing me to start my video, so that's probably why I can't see. Start my video. The co-host has asked you to start. Okay, so let me see if I see. Yes, I see myself. So that's the problem. Okay, I can see myself. It's very small, but I can see myself now if the host starts my video.
You don't have to start the video. It's if you put your whole Zoom windows in full screen, it takes the whole window, not stretch it, but put it in full window.
Okay.
You'll get an automatic little mini icon of yourself, and you can stretch it to make it the size you want.
Okay. Thank you, but that's the issue. Okay, so you guys, you have to allow whoever the contestant is to start his video. The pin works to see yourself, but check that out. Doing it yourselves to make sure we don't get, that doesn't become an issue, because I think that could be the biggest issue in the speech competition for anybody that can't see himself if you can't see an audience.
Well, we have to let the video start in order for everybody else to see them too.
Yeah.
And I think one solution might be hide for all other available people on the channel. If you hide non-video participants, you're gonna only have the pinned video and yourself. So the timer, which will be me and yourself. So you don't need to go through the whole screen to find yourself. It's just you and the me timer in the middle of the screen. So hide non-video participants will make things much easier.
And we're gonna move on to Daniel Pellerin.
Yeah, thank you. I think that the lapse for the whole contest is going to be 4 hours, maximum 4 hours. Is it that?
To run 4 contests, it actually goes slightly over.
Okay, slightly over that. Okay, so are you not afraid that it's a little bit long, 4 hours in front of a computer? How are you gonna manage that?
So the only thing that I would really have to say is, speaking.
Will we have a break?
Yeah. That for some personal experience, Montreal's been doing their 4 contests in a chain for years. So it is possible, it is doable. In between each one, there'll be a small break as well. Your video is off if you're spectating. And you can stand up and stretch, just make sure your video's off. Yeah. So okay. We are going to try and build in, but as for running 4 contests back to back, it's fairly normal and standard in Quebec City and Montreal.
Yeah, okay.
And if I can add on that, we have managed a time of 10 minutes break at the middle to help the person to walk and to move.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Sylvain. Merci, Sylvain.
All right, Francis Rounding, you seem to be our last question.
Okay, thanks, Amy. Yeah, so to be clear, on the night of the contest, I will log in, I don't know, 45 minutes early, half an hour earlier. That's just like the same as if it was a real contest, right? I would arrive 45 minutes to 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
Then I will follow the procedures, like pin the contest judge and the timer.
Just the timer.
Just the timer. And then it comes to the rooms. Will I be invited to go to a room, a speaker's room?
If you have made the indication to the contest chair that you would like to be sequestered, we will sequester you out. So the actual moving in between rooms, you have to, let me be clear. If you were table topics, we're automatically going to move you because we do that for table topics.
Right.
If it's for international speech, you have to make the indication to the contest chair and then we will move you out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I just really need the prompts on the screen. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah.
That if I pay attention, I shouldn't get lost or whatever.
I agree. Just make sure that you have, if something goes horribly, horribly wrong, make sure you have access to Slack so that you can send a message.
Okay, so I have my Slack program running. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So that's the only purpose of Slack is just if we have a problem with communication on Zoom, we can talk there.
For a contestant, yes. For chief judge, there's legitimate reasons to be communicating regularly other than an urgency.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I guess we'll just have to see. I can't be on tomorrow night. Tonight you're going to have another session.
I'm going to try for Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday will be early in the evening.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Francis, I'd invite you to maybe attend one of the contests this weekend as a spectator, just to see how it all flows.
Thank you, Ron. Yeah, I planned on doing that. There's a contest on Friday, I believe, right?
There is. Yeah.
Friday evening.
Yeah. So the same link that you're logging into your contest is the same link for Friday's contest.
Okay. And then if we want to invite a guest, we can use the same link for that guest, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. That's been a marathon.
We have one more has popped up. So then.
C'est ça. Je veux juste dire que the contest on Friday will start at 6 p.m. So be there at 6 to live a wonderful evening. I will see with you how it will work, but it will work. Je m'inquiète pas, on va faire ça ensemble. Je voulais juste faire un commentaire que tout cet exercice-là, on est en rodage, on est en apprentissage, we are in learning process, so we have to be soft with that. We will manage to do that the best we can, and if we have a fail, a small fail, it will be even though a great event. So, je m'inquiète pas de ça, ça va être une belle expérience. On est en apprentissage, on est dans Toastmasters to learn to do better each time. So we will manage that, and I'm fully confident that it will be a great experience. Thank you very much. And by the way, if you do another presentation tomorrow after 8:30, maybe I will join a bit later because I have a meeting online with my club. So just after that, I will join you tomorrow also to help and to understand a bit more everything. And I'm with you 100%, je suis avec toi, donc lâchez pas, puis j'ai bien hâte de voir cette expérience-là. Vendredi, 6h, you are all welcome with us. We will have fun. Thank you very much.
Merci, Sylvain.
Sylvain, quick question pour toi.
Oui.
Concours vendredi soir, c'est quelle heure qui commence?
6h.
6h, OK, parfait.
18h. 18h.
18h.
Pour pas que Craig Senior il fasse une crise cardiaque, alors c'est pas 6h, c'est 18h, Craig. No problem, I will say the time correctly as it's supposed to be done. At 1800 time, Eastern time. Okay, so thank you.
So if I can just say a huge thank you to you all. It's been a long evening. I hope that this has given you some level of comfort, or at least a starting level of comfort into understanding the whole process. I'd like to thank Ron for jumping on with all the questions. I'd like to thank Daniel for managing the online queries there. Craig, I know, jumped in as well. So huge thanks to everybody. Greatly appreciate your patience as we work through all of this. And like I said, I'll send out the information for tomorrow and for Thursday soon. If not, you'll have it in your inboxes very early tomorrow morning. And if you think of anything, send me an email. I'll either address it tomorrow night in the questions if I can't get to it tomorrow during the day. So I'm looking forward to the great contest season. It's exciting to have a new platform, a new challenge.
Amy,
Yes.
Amy.
Yeah.
Quick question. Do you think tomorrow I could just send you my agenda and just comment on it if it's okay for the contest?
Yep. We are sending out a minute-by-minute template for all the division directors to send, so that will help for timings on there. Okay.
Okay, so I'll send it to you tomorrow if you can just have a quick look if there's anything. Super.
Yep.
Thanks.
Perfect. Awesome.
Amy, it's Todd.
Yes.
I noticed that your image is not that clear in comparison to like Craig's image or Falk's image, and that could be a function of maybe your camera in your laptop or the lighting. The lighting just now actually turned it on a lot brighter. Now you are a lot clearer and sharper. But for the majority of your video while it was being presented, it was really grainy and like discontorted.
Well, we just turned on the interrogation light here, so I do have a tendency to sit in the dark, so that's probably my bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes if you're looking at your own video, you don't see yourself, you know, like hence the reason why a lot of the speakers are saying, well, we can't see ourselves on our own screen. We don't know what we look like.
Sadly, I could see myself, and maybe I just took the grainy. It was a better version of me anyway. So.
Excellent.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'd pass that along. But what I find unfair is the people who have the better equipment will have an advantage. So people who have like a really nice Nikon Canon Red Bull or whatever they want to put on a tripod and able to use that as their videoing format will have an advantage over anybody who uses the little camera in their laptop or the little micro eye that they have on the top of their computer.
see, it's fun because I personally would have many ways of debating that. I don't doubt that, yeah, there's certain equipment that does shine brighter than other equipment. But it does come down to what the speakers put into it and what their message is and how they bring that forward. So I hear what you're saying and I agree with what you're saying, but I also think that there are moments where a speaker will outshine whatever equipment is being used.
Oh, for sure. The message, I mean, my mentors always said, you know, put on a suit because they don't care what you have to say until they know how much you care about what they're going to give them. But yes, you could have the nicest, flashiest outside, but if you have nothing on the inside, it's not going to count anyways. But I'm just saying for those people who have an advantage to have more space in their apartment or their house to move around or to set up a more production kind of like studio, they will be able to stand up. Most people have their computer in front of a desk. They're going to be tied to their desk, not like in a big room to move around.
It's interesting because I did an evaluation today at a lunchtime club and the individual stood up and I commended him for it. Like that was part of my evaluation. Was awesome for him that we didn't have to tell him to stand up. But he had his camera down so low and it was a fixed camera. So I gave him the recommendation to put a chair on top of the bed so it was at a better level so that he had more movement instead of him looking down at us. So I think there's still I personally believe there's still flexibility within a fixed camera. And it's just the practice and the experimenting. But like I said, that's personal opinion, not a Toastmasters opinion.
Well, we'll all learn at the same speed, and those who put more time will have more time and more results.
Yeah.
We have a contestant who has no hardware at all, and who reached out and said, "Can someone help me?" And we said, "Yes, we'll provide you with a camera, a microphone, and lighting. It'll be done." So it's in part an accidental lesson in leadership and going from a non-resourceful state to a resourceful state. I need some resources. How do I get it? As a leader, being without is only a challenge, not a problem. Okay.
Let me ponder that for a moment.
I'm writing this down for a speech.
It's been 2 hours now, Craig. That was too deep.
I was gonna say. Méthode pleine. And I think that was poorly said. So is there anything from anybody else? I haven't seen a hand raised in a while.
Falk, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, there is a question. It doesn't concern table contestants, but in the international speech contest, you can cheat. You can put crib notes on a wall that no one will know. How do you stop that?
So there's nothing technically there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't use notes. And it's all dependent on how the judges interpret that as to the
I'm just saying there's the potential. I mean, on table topics, I can't conceive it. On an international,
that's why you got to keep your hands up, so you can't be typing and texting and reading something else.
And there's a certain element of integrity as well that you just have to trust that as Toastmasters.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with that. Okay.
If you start squinting at your ceiling, they're going to know something's up.
Yeah, if I rotate this way.
Yeah.
Or if my Highlander steals my Highlander link steals my screen image. I've got to lock her out.
I am impressed. We are now at 7 minutes to 11, and we still have nearly 40 people online.
I know.
Sometimes the best information comes when the tiredness sleeps in and the control between the brain and the mouth shuts down.
Well, I think who's left are the diehard Toastmasters.
That's probably it too.
On that note,
I just have a question. Where is the beer run? Because we are in friend now. Come on.
Okay, so now we're just getting really goofy, and I've got to play up for tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
But thank you.
Bye-bye.
It's
Bye-bye.
been
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
Will you be sending your document as a PDF in an email or in some sort of other link?
No, I'll send it to email tomorrow.
Okay.
But like I said, it's getting late now, so give me until...
Give you some sleep time, you're saying?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Thanks for your great work and your effort to make the district better.
No, thank you guys. It's all you guys. All right. Good night, all. We will see you very soon.
Good night, everybody.